our members who don't already know who you are, can you please share a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a professional and a mom. I spent my last 20 years on television working for ABC News, CBS News, for Fox, doing local entertainment, hosting a national talk show, I mean, you name it. In the last couple of years, I've been hosting a parenting show in Canada. And in my private life, I'm married to Michael Gelman, who's the executive producer of Live with Regis and Kelly. It's a little unknown talk show. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it. And I'm the mom of two beautiful girls, Jamie and Nisha.
And where were you at in your career when you had your first little girl?
I was just starting at CBS when I got pregnant. I was the pop culture correspondent for the early show. And I had just gotten married, and literally she was a honeymoon baby, not expected at all. And I didn't miss a beat. I got my 12 weeks off. I worked all through my pregnancy, took my 12 weeks of mat leave, and was back at it full-time, no problem.
And how did you decide to leave after X amount of years? Was there a turning point for you?
Well, after I had my second daughter, I was thinking that, gosh, this is a lot harder than I thought. I trimmed down my travel. You know, if there was any way I could do a turnaround in a day, I would do it. And that meant sometimes I would fly out to San Francisco, you know, do a story and then get on the red eye so that I could be there when the kids woke up the next morning, just because I just didn't want to be away. So, but I remember I was interviewing Jude Law for the early show, and I was sitting across from him, and I asked him a question, and then as he was answering me, I was like, oh no, did I pump and leave breast milk for the babysitter? And he stopped talking, and I first of all didn't know how long it had been since he'd stopped talking. Secondly, I hadn't heard a word he said, and I probably realized, I was like, what am I doing here? I don't care anymore. I mean, nothing against Jude Law, he's a great actor, but I just didn't care enough anymore. And then I also realized that all I really wanted to talk about was parenting. I wanted to learn about it, I wanted to know about it, I wanted to talk about it, you know, with other mothers. I wanted to, you know, share what I've learned and learn what other moms learn, because I truly believe that the best advice you ever get is from another mom. Mm-hmm. Don't get it from a book. You always get it from someone who's, you know, in the trenches with you or has already gone through that particular phase.
So how did you transition to become the co-host of The Mom Show?
Well, it fell in my lap, literally. I had decided I was going to probably leave the early show. I was trying to get them to segue me from being the pop culture correspondent to the parenting expert, but everyone kept going, "You're not an expert." And I'm like, "But I'm a parent, and I can learn. I just want to talk about this. I want to tell people what the latest stroller is, and you know why you shouldn't use plastic bottles and all that stuff." But everyone was like, you know, la 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 la, go interview a celebrity, and so somebody that I used to work with at Fox After Breakfast called me, and she had gone back to Canada, and she was casting for this new show called The Mom Show, and they said, we're looking for someone who can ad-lib and who, you know, has done this before, and, you know, would you be interested in coming up and meeting with us? And I said, sure. And I literally got on a plane a few days later, and I met with them, and I met, you know, a few other girls who were potentially going to be my co-hosts, and we clicked, and that was it.
So what's the show all about?
The Mom Show is, it's basically a parenting group or a mom's group for all the mothers out there who don't live in a dense, you know, urban environment where there's a gymboree down the street and there's, you know, play groups everywhere for them. A lot of people live in the suburbs, they live in isolated areas, and they really don't have anybody to reach out to. And they're home and they're thinking, I don't understand why my child has diaper rash when I, you know, smear their butt with butt paste every day, you know. Like, oh, it's because they're teething. I didn't know that. And they just want to ask questions. They want to talk to somebody about it, and they want to hear other mothers' stories. And that's where the idea for the Mom Show came from. It's just to make sure everybody out there knew they were not alone. They were not a bad mom. Everybody goes through this, and it's based in fun. We just want everybody to you know, share the good, the bad, and the ugly of being a mother, because it's not all roses and romance. Let's face it.